All right, so what do Madonna, Bjork, Roseanne, and Rosie O'Donnell all have in common besides the obvious? Well, they're all inspirations for this woman.
And I'm gonna stay here and rock the mic until the next Korean American, fag hag, shit starter, girl comic, trash talker comes up and takes my place.
Margaret Cho. Margaret was born and raised in San Francisco, California. Started doing stand-up at the age of 16, and by the 90s, she was opening for Jerry Seinfeld. So Margaret moved to Los Angeles to make it big, which is exactly what she did. In 1994, she got her own sitcom on ABC called All American Girl. It was the first primetime series featuring an Asian family. But before it had a chance, a TV exec told Margaret she was too heavy and her face was too round. So she dropped 30 pounds in a month, got hooked on diet medications and booze, which led to kidney failure. And after just 19 episodes, the series was canceled. But Margaret channeled her anger, her frustration, and her drinking into comedy. And in that comedy, Margaret does not shy away from anything. She hits on sexuality, politics, racism, religion, plastic surgery, and even her mama.
You are gay. Why don't you talk to mommy about it?
Her 1999 stand-up tour called I'm the One That I Want was a huge hit, and it led to a string of tours, like the notorious CHO in 2001.
I do not need nobody tell me who I am.
Revolution in 03.
I want to go see the choo-chow ching-chong lady.
And Assassin in 05.
Why is Viagra everywhere? Doesn't it make more sense to leave the bullets out of the gun?
She was also a part of 2007's True Colors tour featuring Cyndi Lauper and Deborah Harry. Now Margaret's at it again on the road with a brand new show called Beautiful. Everybody say hello to Ms. Margaret CHO. Welcome to the program. It's nice to see you again. How are you?
Great to see you.
All right?
This is very fancy. It's amazing. Last time I saw you, we were in a little radio studio, and it was just, you were doing your last show there.
That's right.
Getting ready to do TV. And
That's right, my last show on radio before television, Margaret. You were my last guest on radio at the time.
So I'm very proud of you. It's
you're
wonderful.
very kind. Thank you.
Very wonderful.
We've both gone on to be okay. You've done just fine. Thank you very much since then.
Yeah, it's okay.
You know, beautiful. The tour. What is significance to the name of that?
Well, it's because I was doing a radio interview, and they asked me, what would you do if you woke up tomorrow and you were beautiful? And I was like, what? And he said, no, what would you do if you woke up and you were blonde and you had blue eyes and you were 5'11" and you weighed 100 pounds and you were beautiful? What would you do? And I said, well, I probably wouldn't get up because I'd be too weak to stand. Then I felt really sorry for him.
Asshole thing to say.
I know, horrible. And I thought, well, that's sad, though, if that's the only kind of person that he thinks is beautiful. So I wanted to write a show about how I am so beautiful and about how everybody is beautiful. And thank you. Yes, thank you. So that's what it's all about.
And so you decided to take this show on the road.
And I'm taking it on the road.
Is it still a very lonely experience being up there on stage and looking at that crowd?
Well, it's very lonely, and it was so lonely that I thought, oh, I'm going to do something collaborative and do something with other people for a while. So I did an off-Broadway show called The Sensuous Woman, and I did a rock tour called True Colors with Cyndi Lauper. So I did some other projects, but now I'm doing stand-up because it's more fun, actually, to do it on your own. If you can get through the loneliness, it's great.
Being on that road with Cyndi Lauper, who is one of the most iconic artists of our time, and a very unique experience for a comic to be able to be a part of.
Yes, amazing. She was great, and it was her, and it was the Dresden Dolls, and one of my favorite bands from Toronto, the Clicks, who are so amazing. And so I always think Toronto has the best music in the world.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good here.
It's really amazing. So,
see, that's rule number one as a comic, right? You pay to the locals.
Well,
you just go right to the locals.
No, but it's true. But Toronto really does have great music, and I have these long-time fantasies. My long-term fantasy is coming to move to Toronto to join my favorite band, the Broken Social Scene.
That's your favorite band?
So that's my favorite band in the world.
Can you play an instrument?
The rain stick. And then up. And the triangle. I think I can play the triangle. I haven't, but I bet I can.
Hold on a second.
Oh my God. He's gonna hook it up for me.
We're gonna call, actually, let's call somebody from Broken Social and see if you're gonna. So you want to play the rain stick. Have you got a better pitch than that? Because that's really what you're selling?
I can scat.
You can scat. Oh, that's a very different, okay, that kind of scat. Hold on.
No, not that, not the other kind. Not the glass table kind of scats.
Okay, we're just gonna call Kevin Drew.
Okay.
Okay, we got his answering machine, hold on. But I don't want to play his answering machine. It says,
oh, okay.
some crazy stalker watches this and then knows it's his number.
No. But he's great. They are such a great band, and I love Feist, and I love, you know, Toronto is the greatest music in the world. Great.
Hi, Kevin. It's George Stroumboulopoulos. You're on the air. If you pick up the phone, don't swear. Here's Margaret Cho.
Hi, Kevin Drew. This is Margaret Cho. I am such a fan of yours, and I want to join the Broken Social scene. There's so many people in the band, nobody will notice if there's just one more person. I want to join, and I can play any instrument. I'll learn really fast. I'm Asian. I'm a quick study. Please let me join your band. I'll do anything. Thank you.
She really wants to play the rain stick. All right, Kevin, if you want Margaret, just call her back. Bye. There you go. All right.
That's so nice.
There you go. Well,
thank you.
That's how we do.
You're so great.
But is part of your fantasy to come to Canada because politically in America, it's a great time for you?
It's a great time. It's a great time to be away from America. It's just it's terrible. I mean, it's just awful. You know, it's so embarrassing to be American. Just because we're the worst.
No,
you know,
you don't
we're
mean
horrible.
that. You know that's not
well,
true.
I feel bad because it's just that George Bush has done such a terrible job. What's so great is he's going to be out of office very soon. So we are very excited. So excited.
For you on your tour, I mean, I wonder what's bad for the country is great for a comic. There's just so much to talk about. Right,
that's true, but it's just been so bad. The country is so bad, it's not funny anymore. It's just embarrassing and terrible.
Do your family, do you guys talk politics at the table?
Well, my parents have never voted because they never really felt that America was their country. You know, they're immigrants and they've never really felt included, which is one of the other reasons I like Barack Obama, because he's very inclusive towards immigrants and all that, and I'm trying to encourage them to vote and be a part of it.
Your dad, we saw in the notes on the opening of the piece with you, your dad's a joke writer?
Yeah, and I never understand anything he's saying. I don't understand any of the jokes.
Wait, now does he write it for those coffee table books or the bathroom books? Like...
He writes books for the toilet.
Really?
Yeah, in Korea, and it just, to me, I don't get it. It's, you know, Truly Tasteless Korean Jokes, Volume 5.
Okay.
You know, I don't really...
All right, give me one.
I'm not sure.
Do you know
I
any?
don't really even know any. You know, I can't really understand. It's culturally specific to Korean identity, and I don't get it.
Now, does he get your kind of humor?
No. He doesn't, well, and I start talking, anytime I mention, like, pussy, he's a, you know, just...
She's not talking about a cat.
No, he just gets all shut down.
Was your mother, I mean, you talk a lot about your mother in your act. I wonder if at any point you involve her in what you're about to do.
Well, I try to. You know, I brought them into this project. Now I'm doing this television show on VH1 called The Cho Show, which is a reality show, which is very exciting, too, because I brought the first Asian family to TV. Now I'm bringing the second Asian family to TV, so I'm number 1 and I'm number 2. Yeah. So it's very exciting, and they're wonderful. This is the
real one. Like, I mean, I know that there was a lot of talk after your first show, All American Girl, that really wasn't. They took the edge and the voice off of that experience.
Well, now they're letting me do whatever I want, which is really incredible. So I'm excited. Like this last episode that I just worked on, I got a G-shot, which is a special surgery that you get where you, inside your vagina, there's a G-spot where most women have. I don't really have one. There's all good in there. You know, it's not one area where the party is. It's like, you know, everywhere. It's
I thought you were taking the pressure off all the people in your life who couldn't find it. You're like, I don't have one, it's not your fault.
I know. Well, that's what I was doing. I was trying to find it, you know, but I don't really have one. I have a lot of good things happening all over. It's like not really a G-spot, it's like a G block party. You know, it's like...
Are the Roots playing your block party?
Yeah,
like, how does this work?
Yeah, Questlove's in there. All sorts of people are in there. It's like, you know, just like Coachella, a lot of bands waiting to go on. It's that sort of thing in my area. And so I got a G-shot, and...
you should have said that to Broken Social Scene. They would have let you. You let me in your band, you can play in my vagina.
You can. It's a big hall. It's like Massey. You know, it's lots of people can fit in there.
Nice.
Really good acoustics. And so I got a G-shot for my show, and it's like, you know, they feel around in there, and they try to find your spot, and then they inject it.
It's collagen, isn't it?
It's a collagen with a needle. They inject it. Oh, it was really painful. And I still don't... Now it just feels like I have a gel insole in there. Like, it just feels like there's a boot sock in there or something. Like it was too big, it was jangling around, and I had to put a boot sock in.
It's like, hey, Margaret, are you gelling?
Yeah,
I'm gelling.
I'm so gelling.
So you don't, that's it, you haven't noticed, like, when you've had sex with that, there's been no more...
Well, I've tried to have sex with it, but it's really painful.
Really?
It's horrible. I don't think it's a good treatment for women. I think it's a good punishment for sex offenders, maybe, but it's not an enhancement.
God, man, you think about between your last television show and this television show in terms of a series.
It's quite different.
You're waking up going, I think today I'm going to inject collagen into my vagina.
Right. So that was the episode. I went to go
and what
get
is the statement? Is there a statement in that?
Well, the whole episode was about how I thought that my was haunted because I heard all this noise in there, and I was like worried about it, and so I went to try to appease the ghost by making the vagina happy. So I got the G-shot, and then I thought, oh, what if I am what if that's not hot? What if my ass is haunted? Then I got to pull on it to get that area cleaned out, and so.
You probably could have saved yourself a lot of trouble by just going to therapy.
I know, really. I should have probably done that, but you could now watch it on television.
You
my
now
whole
can.
process.
All right, are you ready for the when we come back from the commercial break? I'm going to rapid fire 20 questions, 2 minutes,
Absolutely.
whichever comes first.
Okay.
All right, everybody, stick around because we're going to play 220, 2 minutes, 20 questions more with the notorious CHO when we come back. All right, so what do Madonna, Bjork, Roseanne, and Rosie O'Donnell all have in common besides the obvious? Well, they're all inspirations for this woman.
And I'm gonna stay here and rock the mic until the next Korean American fag hag, shit starter, girl comic, trash talker comes up and takes my place.
Margaret Cho. Margaret was born and raised in San Francisco, California. Started doing stand-up at the age of 16, and by the 90s, she was opening for Jerry Seinfeld. So Margaret moved to Los Angeles to make it big, which is exactly what she did. In 1994, she got her own sitcom on ABC called All American Girl. It was the first primetime series featuring an Asian family. But before it had a chance, a TV exec told Margaret she was too heavy and her face was too round. So she dropped 30 pounds in a month, got hooked on diet medications and booze, which led to kidney failure. And after just 19 episodes, the series was canceled. But Margaret channeled her anger, her frustration, and her drinking into comedy. And in that
Ain't nobody tell me who I am.
Revolution in 03,
I want to go see the choo-chow ching-chong lady.
and Assassin in 05.
Why is Viagra everywhere? Doesn't it make more sense to leave the bullets out of the gun?
She was also a part of 2007's True Colors tour featuring Cyndi Lauper and Deborah Harry. Now Margaret's at it again on the road with a brand new comedy. Margaret does not shy away from anything. She hits on sexuality, politics, racism, religion, plastic surgery, and even her mama.
You are gay. Why don't you talk to mommy about it?
Her 1999 stand-up tour called I'm the One That I Want was a huge hit, and it led to a string of tours like the notorious CHO in 2001.
I do not